Syria, a land of vibrant history, a tapestry woven with threads of diverse cultures and religions. From the ancient city of Palmyra to the bustling souks of Aleppo, Syria once pulsed with life. It was a crossroads of civilizations, a cradle of knowledge and art. But beneath its beauty lay a fragility. Decades of authoritarian rule had sown seeds of discontent. The people yearned for freedom, for a voice. The winds of change swept across the Arab world in 2011, the Arab Spring, a wave of protests demanding democracy and human rights. Syria was not immune. What began as peaceful demonstrations were met with brutal repression by the Assad regime. The government's heavy hand ignited a firestorm of resistance, a desperate struggle for dignity and freedom. The year 2011, the Arab Spring, a time of hope and upheaval. It was in this tumultuous year that Syria's fate took a tragic turn. The Syrian people, inspired by the uprisings in Tunisia and Egypt, dared to raise their voices. They demanded change, an end to decades of oppressive rule. They yearned for freedom and dignity. The government's response was swift and brutal. Peaceful protests were met with violence. The security forces opened fire on unarmed civilians. The world watched in horror as the situation spiraled out of control. The conflict escalated into a full-blown civil war, a vortex of violence that would consume the nation. External powers, fueled by their own agendas, poured fuel on the fire. The conflict became a proxy war, a tangled web of alliances and rivalries. The Syrian people found themselves trapped in a geopolitical chess game, their lives and futures held hostage to the whims of powerful nations. The war in Syria is a tragedy of immense proportions. It is a story of shattered lives, broken families, and a nation in ruins. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable. Millions have been displaced from their homes, forced to flee for their lives. They became refugees in their own land, seeking shelter in overcrowded camps or in neighboring countries. The war has left an indelible scar on the Syrian psyche. The trauma of violence, the loss of loved ones, and the constant fear have taken a heavy toll. The Syrian people, known for their resilience and warmth, have been pushed to the brink. Their spirit, however, remains unbroken. Amidst the rubble and despair, there are glimmers of hope. Ordinary Syrians, driven by compassion and a shared sense of humanity, have stepped up to help their neighbors. They have organized themselves into volunteer groups, providing essential services like medical care, food distribution, and search and rescue operations. The fall of the Assad regime marks a pivotal moment in Syria's history, a new chapter filled with both hope and uncertainty. The road ahead will be long and arduous. Rebuilding Syria will require a monumental effort, a collective effort from the Syrian people, the international community, and organizations dedicated to peace and reconciliation. The scars of war run deep. The physical rebuilding of Syria's infrastructure is only one part of the challenge. Healing the psychological wounds, rebuilding trust, and fostering reconciliation will be a long and delicate process. It will require addressing the root causes of the conflict, promoting justice, and ensuring accountability for the crimes committed. Despite the immense challenges, there is hope. The Syrian people have shown incredible resilience. They yearn for peace, for a chance to rebuild their lives and their nation. The international community must stand with them, providing the necessary support for a peaceful and prosperous future for Syria. A future where the echoes of war are replaced by the sounds of laughter, where hope triumphs over despair.